Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to learn the Limited Liability Partnership Act 2008. So my name is CA Rahul Bajaj and this course is relevant for CA student and CWA student and CS student. So let's start with the topic. So here I have compiled these notes in summary format to help you to revise this chapter in very simple and easy way. So first of all, we will start with what is LLP. So LLP is basically a hybrid of company and partnership. It is an alternative to the traditional partnership with limited liability. LLP is alternate business vehicle which is limited liability for its owner, means partners. LLP gives benefit of limited liability of company and flexibility of partnership. Basically, LLP have features of limited liability, which is of company, and flexibility, like by entering into simple agreements and the way of formation of LLPs compared to very easy, less compliance parties involved as compared to company. So these benefits are of LLP. Then you will ask why there was a need of LLP. So LLP is for those people who cannot use corporation form entity to limit their liability. For example, CAs, CWAs, lawyers, engineers, etc. So like basically we will understand here that there was a need of LLP because where a individual practitioner or individual someone who cannot form like individual or group of person together who want to limit their liability, simply it is for those people. Okay, who can be partner in LLP? Then you will have next question. So that it is very simple. In LLP there are two like individuals and body corporates, those can be partners. In normal partnership firm, body corporates cannot be partners. Okay, so there is exception like a individual who is of unsound mind or who has undischarged in who is undischarged insolvent or applied for educated adjudicated as insolvent. Okay, what do you mean by body corporate? So body corporate defined as per Companies Act, Section 3 of Companies Act. Okay, then LLP under this act, LLP incorporated outside India or company incorporated outside India. Those are body corporate for this definition of for this LLP. Okay. Then we want to know what are the limits for number of partners. So yes, there is a limit. So there is minimum requirement of 2 partners in case of LLP, and there is no upper limit set in LLP Act. What will happen? Number of partner will fall below 2. So here it is given 2 partners, minimum required 2 partners. If it falls below 2, then if it falls below 2 members and it continues for more than 6 months, the only left partner will be liable for with unlimited liability. So all the obligation of that LLP, he will be liable for it during the period which is in which more than 6 months. So though the person who will be a single partner will be liable for liability for the period in which he was the only partner, which is more than 6 months. Okay, so what do you mean by designated partners? In LLP there is concept of designated partner. It is not in normal partnership act. So LLP designated partner is similar to managing director in case of company. They are the one who takes care of day-to-day operation, compliances, and activities dealings of the LLP. Okay, is there any restrictions for designated partners in LLP? There should be at least 2 designated partners who are individuals. One of them shall be resident of India. It is very clearly mentioned here that at least 2 individuals, okay, are supposed to be designated partner in LLP, and one of them should be resident of India in India. What if all the partners of LLP are body corporate? So no individual is involved. So in such case, body corporate has to appoint their nominees to work as a designated partners. Okay. Then here the criteria of resident is given. So we will understand what is definition of resident in LLP Act. A person who stayed in India for not less than 182 days during the immediately preceding 1 year. Okay, so this is the criteria for defining resident or non-resident in LLP. So what are the silent features of LLP? What are the characteristic of LLP? So LLP is body corporate, perpetual succession, separate legal entity, mutual agency, LLP agreement, artificial legal person, common seal, limited liability, management of business, minimum and maximum number of partners, business for profit only, investigation, compromise or arrangement, conversation into LLP, e-filing of document, and foreign LLP. So we will go one by one in following me. Body corporate. It is created under a law, so it is body corporate. Okay, so it has separate legal identity, so it is different from its partner. It has perpetual succession, and change in partner shall not affect the existence, rights, and liability of partnership. Okay, this is the additional benefit which is not there in normal partnership. So that difference is here. Perpetual succession. Perpetual succession means the business continues for infinite period. So irrespective of changes in partner, death in partner, retirement, and insolvency of partner, the business will continue and LLP will continue. LLP will be capable of entering into contracts, holding properties, etc. on its own name. So separate legal entity, as we discussed earlier also, it is created by law. So it is different from its partner. So mutual agency, we'll understand what is this. Mutual agencies, partners are agents of LLP. No partner is liable for independent or unauthorized actions of other partner. This is the basic difference in normal partnership and LLP. Okay. So individual partners are protected from joint liability created by another partner's wrongful decision. Okay. Then LLP agreement. So what is LLP agreement? Rights and duties of partners of in LLP is governed by LLP agreement. Artificial legal person. It is created by legal law, so it is legal person. Common seal. LLP, for LLP it is not mandatory to have a common seal. Okay. If LLP opts for or have a common seal, then it should be under custody of responsible officer and shall be affixed in the presence of at least two designated partners. So this is very critical and important point. One has to take care of this. Okay. Management of business. So partners in LLP are entitled to manage their business. Okay. Partners of LLP. See here what is basic difference is, partners in LLP are entitled to manage business, but only designated partners are responsible for legal compliances. So for legal compliances, only designated partners. For normal business management, designated partner or partners can take care of normal management of business. So minimum and maximum number of partners. So there should be at least two partners, at least two designated partners. So need not to be both are different or both are same, can be different, and there is no maximum limit in LLP. Business for profit only. So basic intention, when you want to form LLP, the basic criteria is essential, very essential criteria is to carrying a lawful business with a view to earn profit. If you want to do charity, you cannot open LLP. Please note, investigation. Why investigation? Central government have power to investigate affairs of LLP. Okay. Compromise and arrangement. Mergers and amalgamation shall be done according to LLP Act. So it is very open, okay, free for new changes and everything. Conversation of LLP. So firm, private limited company or unlisted public company are allowed to get converted into LLP according to the Act. So next point is e-filing of document. So computer readable electronic form on MCA website. So it is the documents which are going to be submitted to registrar are to be submitted on MCA website, which should be in electronic form and authenticated by partner or designated partner by use of electronic or digital signature. So next point is for an LLP. So for an LLP, so how it is relevant to us? So for an LLP's definition is that a LLP which is formed, incorporated and registered outside the India but having place of business in India. Kindly note, it is very important point. It is having place of business in India. Else it is formed, incorporated, registered outside India and operating outside India. That is not relevant for us. A foreign LLP can become partner in LLP. Okay. So here we have covered silent feature oblique characteristic of LLP. So now we will be moving to next point. Our next point is, what are the advantages of LLP? So LLP is organized and operates on the basis of LLP agreement. What if LLP agreement is not there? Then it will operate as per LLP Act. Okay. Having flexibility without imposing detailed legal and procedural requirement. So if one opts for forming a company, there are a lot of compliances which are being reduced while making LLP. So if you opt for LLP, there will be benefit of less legal procedural as compared to company. All partners have benefit of limited liability. Like, this is basically with the intention of limited liability. Okay. Else a person or normal people or group of people can opt for normal partnership, but if they want to limit their liability and don't want to go for many compliances part and something, so they can opt for LLP. Or those who are not legally possible for them to make a company, like chartered accountants, we cannot have a CA company. We always wanted to we always need to have a CA firm. So those kind of organization or business, they can opt for this LLP and can get the benefit of limited liability. Flexible in capital structure. Okay, so it is not like difficult, like issuance of share capital, maintenance of register and other part. In LLP it is simple like partnership firm, very easy to form and very easy to dissolve. So these are the basic advantages of LLP. So we will be moving to next point, how to incorporate LLP. So here is the criteria. Two or more person associated for carrying a lawful business. Okay, lawful business with a view to earn profit. Okay, not charitable organization can make LLP. Okay, subscribe their name to incorporation document. So whatever name they want, they will fill it and submit incorporation document to registrar. Document shall be filed in the manner and fees prescribed by registrar of the state in which register office of LLP is situated. If you want to operate in Maharashtra, then you have to give a document to registrar of Maharashtra. Okay. Statement shall be filled in the prescribed form, either made by a lawyer, CA, CWA, who is engaged in the formation of LLP, and by one of the person who is subscribed to incorporation document, compiling all the requirement of Act. So statement should be filed in prescribed form, either made by a lawyer or CA and one of the partner. Okay, in simple language. Things in incorporation document. So in the incorporation, the form, incorporation form, name of the LLP, proposed business activity, business nature of business of LLP, address of registered office, name and address of partners, name and address of designated partners. Okay, we'll move to next point. What if somebody gives false statement or the information he knows it is not true? Then there is a imprisonment up to period of 2 years and fine not less than 10,000 but maximum up to 5 lakh rupees. So when all the documents have been complied with, then what registrar will do? If you are complied with all the formalities and procedure and you submit the document to registrar, then registrar will register incorporation document in their books and give certificate of LLP that LLP is incorporated. So this activity is done within 15 days. Register office of LLP. So next point is register office of LLP. So every LLP shall have one registered office. Okay, LLP may change registered office, but any change made to registered office has to be communicated to registrar in a form, in a manner which is prescribed by registrar or the act. Effect of registration. What if now your LLP is registered? So now it became a separate legal entity. So it is being capable of suing or being sued. Okay, it can acquire, own, hold, dispose, or develop a property or many properties, whatever, doing and suffering from the acts of LLP and having common seal. Not necessary, it is not mandatory to have a common seal. So we will go to next point, name of LLP. So name of LLP, suffix LLP should be there. So if I want to make LLP, so I will write like Rahul and Rahul LLP. Like in case of company, private limited, public limited, limited words are used. So that way it has to be LLP in the name, in the suffix. Any undesirable name or identical name in to some entity or something in the opinion of central government, then it will not get registered in that name. So if your name is very identical to someone else's business, then you may not get that name. Or if you get if you have the name which is similar to any other name and your LLP is incorporated, it is undesirable name or identical name, within 3 months central government may direct LLP within 3 months or maybe longer period, LLP has to change its name. Okay, so it's in the hand of central government, can ask you to change name within 3 months or a longer period as the CG allows. CG stands for central government. For any undesirable name or name which is identical to somebody else or something else. If LLP fails to comply in changing name, then fine up to fine 10,000 to 5 lakhs for LLP and 10,000 to 1 lakh for designated partners. See, here only designated partner is considered, not partners, because for all legal and compliances matter, designated partners are responsible for this. So we will move to next point, relationship of partners. So mutual rights and duties of partners is governed by LLP agreement. Mutual rights and duties of LLP and its partner is governed by LLP agreement. So partner LLP agreement. LLP partner is LLP agreement. Okay. Any change in LLP agreement shall be filed with registrar. Agreement in writing before incorporation of LLP. Say any agreement which is written before the incorporation of LLP must be ratified after the formation of LLP. If it is not ratified, then LLP is not LLP is not supposed to oblige that agreement. Okay. In the absence of agreements, rights and duties of LLP and partners shall be governed by the first schedule of LLP Act. Cessation of partnership interest. Okay, so we will be moving what, so like if some partner wants to choose his interest, so how it will happen? So in according with LLP agreement, so whatever written in agreement, if the partner has complied, then he will choose from his partner's level, he will become ex partner. Okay, if in the absence of agreement, so there is no LLP agreement, what will happen? So then the partner who wants to choose his partnership interest shall give 30 days notice in writing to LLP and partners. Say on the date of partner, he will choose his rights will his interest will end. Dissolution of partnership firm. Okay, so in case of LLP is dissolved, then the partnership interest will also end. Declared to be unsound mind. If a partner who is declared to be unsound mind or applied for is insolvent or applied for adjudicate as an insolvent. Okay, so he will become his interest in partnership will end. If person choose to be partner but still regarded as a partner. Okay, so based on above criteria or some of the one or two criteria, a person choose to be partner, but okay, he has done with now he is known as a former partner. For this example, the person has noticed that former partner has choose to be partner, like he is still believing that he is partner, then he is liable for all his act as a partner. And notice is delivered to registrar. So in case of failure to deliver notice to registrar, then the partner will be still regarded as a partner. Okay, if a person even after Jesus ending his partnership interest continues or believes to be a partner, then he will be still regarded as a partner and will be responsible for his acts and activities. And if notice is not delivered to registrar, the cessation of partner does not discharge partner's liability partner for any obligation to LLP or other partner which he incurred while being a partner. Okay, so like I was partner till last year, so whatever obligations till last year, still I will be liable for them if those are not settled or closed properly. When a partner chooses to be partner shall be entitled to receive, like if I am partner and I want to retire or I want to exit in that partnership, I will be having right or that my entitlement is amount equal to my capital contribution. So whatever capital contribution I have done, that I will receive back, and share in accumulated profits. Okay, after deduction of accumulated losses. So whatever profits till the date I was partner, I am supposed to get that money. A person is entitled to share in consequence of any partner. Like if a partner who dies and his legal heir is supposed to get his share in, so he may get share in partnership, but he will not have right to interfere the management of partnership LLP. So he have no rights. Like if X dies and his legal heir Y, who is entitled for his share, he will not have any right to interfere the management of LLP. So registration of changes in partner. So any changes in name, registration of changes in partner. So every partner shall inform LLP any change in his name or address within 15 days to LLP. So basic criteria is partner has to give this detail to LLP, and LLP has to give these details to registrar within 30 days from such change. Okay, so like any change in partner, name change of partner, address change of partner has to be submitted to registrar within 30 days from the date of change. agent. So basically I have written this agent like partners are agents of LLP and not of each other. This is very important point. Partners are agents of LLP and not of other partner. Extent and limitation of liability of LLP. So in this LLP, we will learn that LLP is not bound if partner has no authority to act for LLP. If a partner who has acted beyond his authority, then he will be personally liable, not LLP will be liable. LLP is not bound if someone believe him to be partner. A person who is say employee of the organization LLP and works as if on routine work of LLP and somebody else believes that he is partner, then also LLP is not liable for any liability if somebody else believes that he is partner. LLP is not bound if person knows that he has no authority or does not know, even if a partner who acted beyond his own authority, okay, then he will be personally liable, not LLP. LLP is liable if partner has authority to do so. If any activity of partner which he has done in accordance with his authority, then LLP is liable to do compensate. LLP is liable for obligation of LLP. Any authorized act of LLP, LLP is liable to compensate. Liability of LLP to be made out of property of LLP. Okay, so basically it is separate legal entity and having limited liability, so it has to be done from the assets of LLP. Unlimited liability in case of fraud. So any activity carried out by LLP or any of its partner with intent to defraud creditors or anybody else, then in such case the liability will be unlimited. They have to compensate the sufferer. In case of act carried out by partner and LLP is liable to the extent LLP is liable to compensate the third party unless LLP establishes that it was without the knowledge of LLP. So it is very important to understand here is it is very important to understand here two concepts. If a partner any active if if any fraudulent activity carried out by LLP or its partner with then they have individual unlimited liability to compensate the sufferer. Okay, in case of any act which is now the exception here is any act, okay, which is carried out by partner but LLP was not informed or LLP it was without knowledge of LLP, then individual partner is liable. Okay, so now what is the legal penalty or punishment for this fraudulent activity? There is imprisonment up to 2 years, those who are in guilty, fine from 50,000 to 5 lakh rupees, liable to pay compensation to the suffered person. Okay, now we will go to the next important point, financial disclosures. So like in partnership act there is no like specific requirement under partnership act. Okay, so those partnership has to prepare financial according to income tax act and according to they prepare and they submit document. But now LLP have a separate additional requirement, which is LLP shall maintain proper books of account. It can be on cash basis or accrual basis. It must be on double entry system of accounting. All the records should be maintained at registered office of LLP. In addition to this, LLP has to prepare statement of accounts and solvency and has to submit the registrar, and it should be duly signed by designated partner of LLP. If LLP fails to comply above, then there fine shall not be less than 25,000, and the maximum fine can be 1 lakh rupees. So another compliance part on LLP is annual return. Submit LLP has to submit annual return to registrar from 60 days from the closure of financial year. So generally the financial year is 1st April to 31st March. So 60 days from 31st March of every year. Okay, if LLP fails to do so, then the fine of 25,000 to 5 lakh rupees. Now we will move to next point, winding up and dissolution of LLP. If LLP decides that it has to wound up, it can be done by tribunal. For the period more than 6 months, the number of partners are reduced below 2. So if number of partners are below 2 for period more than 6 months, it will get automatically dissolved. LLP is unable to pay its debt, okay, then also it can be dissolved. LLP acted against the interest of India, sovereignty and integrity of India, or security of state or public order, then it can be dissolved. Default in filing with registrar statement of account and solvency or annual returns for consecutive 5 years. So there can be example like for last 4 years it has not submitted and current year it has submitted. So one has to keep in mind that 5 consecutive years are most important part of this. So now we will see difference between LLP and partnership firm. So if we know something already, if we compare with something else, we will understand what are the basic difference and we will remember the things. So here, like in earlier chapter, we have learned what is Partnership and Partnership Act 1932. So here we will compare limited liability partnership and partnership. Okay, so regulation. Basically, everyone knows that LLP is governed by LLP Act 2008. Partnership is Indian Partnership Act 1932. Registration. For LLP, you have to compulsory register with registrar. Okay, for partnership firm, there is no such a requirement. It can be voluntary, it can be registered, unregistered, anything. Perpetual succession. So once it is separate legal entity and it is registered, it have perpetual succession. Any join or leave of existing member, that does not affect the existence of LLP. But in case of partnership, it is not a legal entity as such, so it has no perpetual succession. Body corporate. Yes, LLP is body corporate because it is incorporated under an act which is LLP Act 2008. But partnership firm is not incorporated under any act, so it is not a body corporate. So definition, separate legal entity. LLP is a separate legal entity. It is separate from its member. But partnership is a group of persons with no separate legal entity. Creation. LLP is created by legal process registered under LLP Act. Created by an agreement between partners. So partnership is created by just mere agreement, may not be by contract. Okay. Name. LLP has to be suffixed at in the last of the name. LLP has to compulsory, one has to write LLP, but there is no such guideline for partnership. Liability. LLP have limited liability to the extent agreed contribution, but exception is in case of willful fraud. In case of partnership, the liability of each partner is unlimited. Mutual agency. So partners bind to LLP for their own act and not for the act of other partners. But in case of partnership, it is bind to partnership firm as well as other partners. Common seal. For LLP, there can be a common seal. It is not mandatory, but there is option to have a common seal. In case of partnership firm, there is no such concept. Legal compliances. So for any failure for legal compliances, designated partners are responsible, and in case of partnership, all partners are responsible. Annual filing of documents. So it is registered under LLP Act, and so annual statement of accounts and solvency, and annual return has to be submitted to registrar of the state, okay, through online mode, okay. There is no such requirement. It has to be normally whatever they prepare for income tax document, those can be prepared. Foreign partnership. Foreign national can become partner in LLP, but foreign national cannot become partner in partnership. Minor as partner. Minor cannot be admitted as a partner in LLP. Minor can be admitted to the partner only for the benefits after getting consent from existing partner. So these are the major differences between LLP and partnership. So now next we will compare LLP and company. So company is limited liability company. So here are our points. So now LLP is governed by LLP Act. Limited liability, for example, I will call it company. Company is governed by Companies Act. Partners are members. Like a person who contribute money in LLP is known as partner. Person who invest in money in the shares is known as member. Governance. LLP is governed by contract agreement between partners. Company is governed by Companies Act. So suffix, in case of LLP, the name shall suffix with LLP. In case of company, it should be private limited or limited as a private company or public company. In case of public company, it should write as a limited. In case of private company, it should write as private limited. Okay. Then number of partners or members. So in case of LLP, there are minimum 2 members, maximum no limit, and individual and only body corporates can become member of can become partner of LLP. In case of company, there are two types of limited liability company. One is private company and another is public company. In case of private company, minimum 2 members, maximum 200 members. In case of public company, minimum 7 members, maximum there is no limit. So we'll go to next point, liability. So liability in case of LLP is to the extent of contribution, except in case of fraud, and in case of company, limited to the extent amount unpaid on the shares. So thank you friends for listening. In case of any query, you can mail me at rahulbajaj41@gmail.com. So I'm writing here. You can mail me your queries. If you want this summary document, I can share this with you. Please ping me on a YouTube channel. Thank you for listening.